Roger Stone here. Every day you wait, your money loses value, but gold and silver don't follow those same rules. American Sovereign Bullion gives you access to a nationwide wholesaler network, helping you secure aggressive pricing on real physical metals. Call 844-272-2428 now to get your free gold and silver guide to learn how to protect your wealth with physical gold and silver, delivered right to your door or with a gold IRA. Visit ASBGold.com. That's ASBGold.com for your free gold and silver guide today.
In the squadron, they called him Bullets, but we call him Greg Kelly. Greg Kelly is on the air on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Frank Rizzo, open your freaking ears. That was the legendary late mayor of Philadelphia, Frank Rizzo, some fake news guy hassling him on the sidewalk. I don't know why Frank Rizzo was walking a poodle, by the way. He was going for a dog walk. How could a guy like Frank Rizzo, with a name like Frank Rizzo, have a little poodle, a little purse dog? But anyway, a little bit of Frank Rizzo. Frank is on my mind. He's the one who came up with the whole slogan. Maybe you've heard it. A conservative is a liberal who got mugged. And I'm seeing that all over the place. People waking up and realizing, you know what? These lofty positions I have, these fun kind of thoughts that I have to impress my friends and wow them at dinner parties, yeah, they don't mean anything. Okay? I just got mugged yesterday. And the real world is beckoning. So, yeah, a lot of people are undergoing a magnificent transformation, a rebirth, and I applaud it. I don't care about the MetLife Gala, and I don't care to I don't even want to criticize it. Look, if a bunch of people want to get dressed up in silly clothes, it's a free country. Knock yourselves out. Yeah, all day long. Big segments. How could they do such a thing? You're allowed to do these things. You just, I don't have to go. I'm not going. I did meet Anna Wintour once. She was very pleasant. It would be too easy to write her off. She was great. Sat next to her. Believe it or not, I was at a dinner party myself 10 years ago, 2015, in the Dominican Republic. Henry Kissinger was at the table. Let me see who else. Charlie Rose was at the table. Barbara Walters was at the table. Anna Wintour was at the table. And me, I sat right between Anna Wintour and Barbara. Barbara, total riot. I miss her. She was good people. You see, I read her book, and she was very impressed by that. And, I didn't show off, but, we understood each other. Anna Wintour, I was a bit of an oddity. And who are you again? But and she was perfectly nice until I set off a giant stink bomb at that party. I said, Donald Trump is going to be the next president of the United States. How could you? They almost asked me to leave. It was just it was the craziest, silliest, most ignorant thing they ever heard. Donald Trump. And, it really, I think, Anna Wintour was going to be the president. What was she going to be? Ambassador to the UK under Hillary Clinton. Well, it didn't work out that way. President Trump. Yep. Shocked the world. And I actually, that night, I kind of shocked myself how people could not and would not accept that. It was just, it's like a fantasy. You know what I mean? It's like I was predicting somebody coming back from the dead. That was never, ever, ever going to happen. So that Frank Rizzo, I'm thinking about him because I'm also thinking about the president of Cornell University. Cornell has a campus right here in New York City. They also, obviously, the main campus upstate. And, they got a guy. His name is President Michael Kotlikoff, Kotlikoff. He is a molecular physiologist. This is actually a problem for these university professors. So they become professors first. They become administrators later. And being an administrator basically has nothing to do with being a professor, being really good at molecular physiology. You don't have to know about placating students, alumni groups, fundraising. So they're not particularly gifted at that stuff. They're not really, it all comes later, and it's just a great big hassle being a university president. So they're hassling this guy. Why? Because he believes in free speech. He believes in free speech, and the students are stalking him and yelling at him and screaming at him and just bothering him. Cut 2, please. Cut 2.
university is party reporting a student.
I came to an event where we celebrated free speech. We had a dialogue about Israel-Gaza. You obviously have an agenda that you want to
President
promote.
Kotlikov, this is a deflection. I'm asking you how the university can possibly be the party.
I'm not engaging in your.
How can the university be the party reporting a student when the university also is adjudicating the cases against these students?
Adjudicating the cases against these students. You're taking the student court a little bit too seriously. Anybody remember the student? We had the student council. Right? And the students, they didn't let them decide anything serious. You're crazy kids. Half of you are on weed or worse. All right. So the president gets into his car and, the student insists on getting run over in the car, right? He wants to be a victim. We shall overcome. We shall, right? That's, yes. Well, you can get yourself really in trouble that way. You can get yourself hurt. Ivy League, this kid doesn't know how to get out of the way of a moving car. Cut 3, please. Cut 3.
Do you think the students who took part in the 1969 Willard Straight Hall takeover should have been suspended? Should the students who took part in the 1969 Willard Straight Hall takeover have been suspended? LNT.
He's in his car now.
944.
Taking his license plate number.
It's a really nice car.
It's a really, really nice car.
They resent it.
LNT 9844.
Now he's about to drive out, back up.
Oh gosh, it's a nice car.
Oh, is he actually?
Whoa!
You're running a student over?
Whoa!
Damn. Am I allowed to stand here?
Am I allowed to stand behind a car that's backing up at a half mile per hour? Get out of the way, you alleged brainiac. It's interesting. I hear they say nice car a couple of times. That's what so much of this is about. Income inequality, or, you know, the rich have stuff that we want and we don't think we should work for it because everybody we see online doesn't seem to work for it, but they get it for free. Thanks a lot, Kardashians. You know, one of these days we're going to find out that the CIA propped up the Kardashians. I don't know if that's true, but it wouldn't shock me. Right? How do you rewire a society? How do you make them depraved and stupid? Well, you take the most depraved, stupid people you can, right? Unattractive, untalented, and then you throw all kinds of money and attention at them, and then you get, I don't know, a third of the population to worship them and try to be just like them. I mean, could our enemy have come up with something that could hurt us more? I don't think so. Cut 3, please. This, again, oh boy, they're right behind the car. This is like a nuisance lawsuit, right? You know, with people who used to do that. Hoyerman was a real big trip and fall guy. Oop, I fell on your stoop. I'm going to sue you. Right? That was like a pastime of his. Cut 4, if you don't mind. Cut 4.
Am I allowed to stand here?
Ah! He just ran over my foot. Oh my god.
Oh my.
Yes. Oh my god. He just ran over my foot.
You sound fine, pal. He just ran over my foot. Michael Kotlikov, whoever you are, president of Cornell University, hang tough, sir. You got friends and admirers all over the world, and you don't even know it. Okay? Whatever I can do. Granted, you know what? He probably doesn't need a friend like me. Greg Kelly, that MAGA maniac? Yes, I am a MAGA maniac. If by MAGA maniac you think believing in strong borders, fair elections, not getting into stupid foreign wars and then losing them, yes, I am Mr. MAGA maniac. Thank you very much. Oh, and another thing about me, not forgetting the January 6ers and not forgetting the crazy creep Michael Byrd, who still is on duty at the Capitol Police. How in the world did they protect? How and why is he receiving job protection? Who's Michael Byrd? He's that Bubba Gump character who shot and killed Ashley Babbitt, who was posing no threat to anybody, right? You don't shoot because she's wearing a backpack, also known as a knapsack. Michael Kotlikov, thank you very much. Michael Byrd, you're on my list. My list of people who need to be fired. Cut 5, please. Cut 5.
I was taking a tactical stance. You're ultimately hoping that your commands will be complied with, and unfortunately they were not.
When you fired, what could you see? Where were you aiming?
You're taught to aim for center mass. the subject was sideways, and I could not see her full motion of her hands or anything. So I guess her movement, caused the discharge to fall where it did.
And what did you think this individual was doing at that moment?
She was posing a threat.
She was posing a threat. How so? How so exactly? It's not enough of a threat. It's got to be a deadly threat. It's got to be a threat on someone's life or serious injury. And how did this 120-pound woman with a backpack pose that threat? Hey, did you hear he was aiming for center mass? They teach you to aim for center mass. Well, he shot her in the neck. Okay, he missed. He also made it sound like she somehow fell into the bullet. Right? It was her fault for getting in the way of his bullet. So a minute after this thing, Michael Byrd goes into damage control. A minute after he shoots Ashley Babbitt, he jumps on the radio and starts yelling and screaming. This is his voice a minute later. Okay, trying to justify a minute later what the hell he was doing. This is basically an alibi justification on the radio. Panicked because he just killed a woman. Cut 6.
We got shots fired in the lobby of the House chamber. Shots are being fired at us, and we're prepared to fire back at them. We have guns drawn. Don't make sure we leave that in. Don't leave that in.
We have guns drawn. We have shots fired. You fired the shots. You make it sound like you're receiving incoming. That was the point. Michael Byrd, law enforcement officer, right? He received a gold medal, a bonus. What the hell else? Interview, sit down with Lester Holt, promotions galore. And then he wanted more. There are all kinds of nasty emails between him and the chief counsel. He's telling the lawyer, right? He's telling the lawyer what's what. You're the one who just blew away this woman. Well, not only was there Trump derangement syndrome everywhere, there was Black Lives Matter, right? We had just gone through Black Lives Matter, and everything was crazy. Can you imagine that we once had a normal country and Democrats would actually come out and say things like this, beautiful things like this: sacrifice, honor, right? Making a difference in your community, in your country. A positive, hard work. The guy I'm thinking about is John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Here he is on January 20th, 1961. 7.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that just wow? And now everybody seems to want a handout. I saw somebody at these town halls, these ridiculous town halls, where they try to make the people look very, very pathetic. What are you going to do for me to improve my life? What are you going to do for me to help me pay my bills? I mean, the last thing I'm going to look to is the government to help me pay my bills. All right? They can get out of the way. They can stop bothering me. That would be nice. But the moment you start looking to the government to fix your problems, well, you got problems. You got big problems. So, gas prices, I don't like them that they're so high. I don't like them that they're so high at all. All right? But I think we got to get over it. I think we have to get over it. We are never asked to sacrifice much of anything, to be honest. And, gas prices are higher than they should be, but they're still not as high as they were under Joe Biden. You imagine that? They're not as high. They peaked in June of 2022 under Joe Biden. Averaged, I think it was like $5.09 a gallon. We're still not averaging over $5 in America, but we were in 2022. Now, here's we don't have record high gas right now, but you turn on the Sunday shows and it sounds like this, all right? Again, this is this past weekend. Cut 8, please. Cut 8.
Gas prices soar as President Trump weighs his next moves on Iran, with just 6 months until voters head to the polls. This week starts right now.
I have to work, I have to drive, but it's not very sustainable.
The average price of a gallon of gas surging to $4.45, up 40 cents in 1 week, and up $1.51 since the war began.
Okay, that's not great. I don't like it. And it's news. It's news. But, I watch these shows and I watch these people very closely. They are working full time to help Democrats. I used to think it's just bias and it's a bit more, metaphysical. It's full time just to help Democrats. So 4 years ago, when gas prices were higher, averaging over $5 a gallon, you want to see how the same program led with the same news, actually worse news because it was much higher. This is what they were talking about back then. Cut 9, please. This is June 12th when the prices peaked, 2022. ABC This Week, Cut 9.
George Stephanopoulos starts right now.
Carnage and chaos.
We're trying to hold the alphabet. We're trying to hold the alphabet down.
I was slipping in people's blood.
The January 6th committee debuts its case, aiming to pin the blame for the attack on the Capitol squarely on former President Trump.
How about that? January 6th. And that was in June of 2022, also known as a year and a half after January 6th. It's a full-time Democrat operation. Full-time. Shameless and amazing. And now they're being dishonest about Iraq. We're not getting the truth. This war is going well. All right? Don't believe anything. We'll be right back.
Greg Kelly.
Let's go, Brandon.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network. Greg Kelly. On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
What are they losing their breath about? What are they... January 6th nonsense. January 6th. I think that's so sweet. Now, gas prices are what? $4.40. Can we hear that again? It's so exquisite. I hate that word exquisite. I can't just believe I used it. I'm sorry. It's very effeminate. There's something about exquisite, I'm not saying it anymore. All right. Gas prices, $4.40. War going on. All right. Stuff going on. The fake news takes it and runs with it. Cut 8.
Gas prices soar as President Trump weighs his next moves on Iran, with just 6 months until voters head to the polls. This week starts right now.
I have to work, I have to drive, but it's not very sustainable.
The average price of a gallon of gas surging to $4.45, up 40 cents in 1 week, and up $1.51 since the war began.
So, that's the picture right now. What about when it was $5? Over $5 a gallon under Joe Biden in 2022, which is a critical year. The midterms are right around the corner, just like they are right now. The midterms. Every breath, it's the midterms. The Republicans are going to get hammered in the midterms. Highest gas prices in the world? Don't worry about it. We'll obsess about January 6th instead. MAGA doesn't like hearing about that. Cut 9.
George Stephanopoulos starts right now.
Carnage and chaos.
We're trying to hold the alphabet. We're trying to hold the alphabet down.
I was slipping in people's blood.
The January 6th committee debuts its case, aiming to pin the blame for the attack on the Capitol squarely on former President Trump.
Cassidy Hutchinson, crying Capitol Hill cops. Oh, forget about those gas prices. No big deal. Hey, Rudy Giuliani, forgive me. I knew he was going to make it. He's up. He's talking. He was in a coma, but he's talking, and it's great. He's off the ventilator, and it looks like he's going to be back. I just could tell that this was not the time for Rudy to make his grand exit. All right? I mean, we got to get him to the White House to get that great big trophy. The great big, what do they call it? The Medal of Freedom. The Medal of Freedom. The Presidential Medal of Freedom. Yeah. So interesting. Is it the positive power thinking? It's the power of God. He can do anything. But, Rudy and I would be in this room for years. In 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, right? We would talk on his show, on my show, after the show, between shows. down the hall. We'd have these extensive conversations. It really was amazing. And I always valued it, and I also appreciated that I was talking to this great man, but we were talking peer to peer, which also was kind of like pretty nifty for me, having grown up watching Rudy Giuliani, this icon, all the way back when he was U.S. Attorney on the front page of the New York Times Magazine. Really great. Really great. So, what do we have here? This is Rudy Giuliani telling the truth when it was hard to do, when everybody was coming after him. Let's see here. Cut 12, if you don't mind. Cut 12.
Biden was using his son in a horrible way as a bag man. You would think he would get some kind of a political flunky to be his bag man, but instead, as his bag man, he used his son, who's afflicted with drug addiction. And over the period of years, he made the drug addiction much, much worse by having his son involved with some of the most crooked people in the world.
He was shut down for that. And they say, well, Rudy drinks, he drinks. Oh, Rudy's really lost his mind. No, he didn't. He was terrific in every way. Every way. He was on top of the world, on top of, he was like at his most useful. He was at his most useful. And that's, I think, when people are at their happiest. He was giving it all on all cylinders. Well done, Mr. Mayor. And now he's America's, what is he? He's America's, lawyer. And he'll get his bar credentials back. Here's more. Here's more from that era. Cut 18, please. Cut 18.
Each state shall appoint in such manner as the legislature thereof may direct a number of electors. It's the state legislature that controls this process. It's your power. It's your responsibility.
The state legislatures didn't understand that. They didn't. They didn't want to. They'd have to read too much. It's amazing how people don't want to read anything, right? They just want to get the gist of it. Maybe read a tweet. That's easy. A Twitter, an X, an Instagram post. But anything that takes concentration, anything that takes thought to process, anything that's hard, we're kind of staying far away from that. And I'm going to tell you something. Artificial intelligence is overrated. If you think it's going to take your job, the thing about artificial intelligence, it could actually make you better at your job. It's so goofy. It makes mistakes all the time. It's like, it's just not quite what they say it is. It's not even by a long shot. Now, the things that really excite me are driverless cars, driverless trucks, right? That's going to be awesome. And we actually have the technology right now to have all that stuff. We don't have people who are ready for it. Psychologically, we're not ready to give up the driving. We should be. We really should be, because we suck at driving. We're not very good at driving. We get angry, we get tired, we get distracted, we look at our phone, we do all these things. Computers don't do those things. There will be, a car crash is going to be as rare as a plane crash. They will happen, but next to never. And I don't think my daughter is ever going to get a driver's license. How about that? She's only, let's see, which one is this? I think this is the 4-year-old. And she's so beautiful. You want to hear a little bit? Here she is, just kind of chewing the fat with Dad. Cut 20, please. Cut 20.
Could you sing it for me?
I like to be under the sea, in the octopus's garden, in the shade. Let the fin knows where he been, in the octopus's garden, in the shade.
Oh my goodness.
Very beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that the most amazing thing you've ever heard? I just love it. I just love it. Oh gosh. I worry about her. I worry about the world that, it's going to come her way, all this stuff. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But it's also going to be amazing. And you know what I want for her more than anything really is to be close to God, is to listen to God, obey God, and she'll save herself. She'll be saved from so much heartache and so much suffering. You know, sometimes people have to learn the hard way. I hope she gets it early, and I guess we all go through those phases, don't we? We all got to go through it. You got to get banged up by life. I can't stand the idea of her getting banged up, you know? And the other one, 6. She's 6. Hey, this is getting worse, that stuff I told you about with the Cornell professor. There may be a human rights violation, and the federal government could get involved. It looks like this man technically was being held hostage. When you block somebody in a car and you don't let them go, they're saying that this is tantamount to essentially kidnapping. Was that university president kidnapped? Well, you could make that case. You can actually make that case. Cornell University's president has blasted a group of radical students for hurling abuse and holding him hostage in his own car following an Israel-Palestine debate series at the Ivy League school. The group of rabble-rousers filmed themselves swarming Michael Kotlikov and trailing him to his vehicle as he was trying to leave the event in Ithaca, New York. He accused the group, who he said had become notorious for spewing verbal and online abuse toward Cornell staffers in the past, of surrounding his car, banging on the windows, and blocking him from leaving. School president spoke out after the students posted footage on social media, Kotlikov apparently backing into the group amid the parking lot chaos. I love this guy. I love how he's sticking to his guns. You know what I mean? He accuses this group accurately of harassment and intimidation. These individuals followed me from the event space and across campus while loudly shouting questions and recording on their phones. After answering a few questions, I let them know that I was not planning to engage further and asked them to stop recording. They continued to follow me to my car and then surrounded the car, banging on the windows, blocking the car. I saw already. I waited until I saw space behind the car, and then using my car's rear pedestrian alert and automatic braking system, was able to slowly maneuver my car from the parking space and exit the parking lot. Kotlikov, who has been president of Cornell since March of 25, insisted that the earlier debate series event was vigorous and civil. The series has been hosted by the Cornell Political Union and co-sponsored by Cornell Progressives, Cornellians for Israel, as well as Students for Justice in Palestine. Ooh, those Students for Justice in Palestine, they're terrorists. They had otherwise been a prime example of the open discourse that we prize in our academic community. He went on to say, the behavior I experienced last night is not a protest. It is harassment and intimidation with the direct motive of silencing speech. It has no place in an academic community, no place in a democracy, and can have no place at Cornell. Good for you, sir. Good for you. Good for you. Now, what do they say? We tried to discuss campus speech policies. He hit us with his car, the Students for Democratic Cornell wrote on Instagram. Kotlikov's violent response to student inquiry is just another example of his administration's repressive crackdown on student speech. The saga unfolded after the Trump administration suspended more than $1 billion in funding for Cornell University last April as the government investigated alleged civil rights violations. The federal government warned university bosses it could bring law enforcement actions if a review determined it had failed to stop anti-Semitism. In November, Cornell struck an agreement with the government that would restore hundreds of millions of dollars in federal funding. The institution agreed to pay more than $30 million to the government and invest an additional $30 million into its agriculture and farming efficiency programs, for which it's known. How about that? Hey, why are we spending all that money, all of our money, to the federal government, and the federal government gives it to these private universities? They certainly aren't cutting costs down at the universities. There was a time, right? And it's a long time ago. You got to go back. But you could get back from the war as an enlisted man, you know, in the Army or the Marine Corps, an officer, whatever, come back off of active duty, and you could actually work your way and pay your way through an Ivy League school. Tuition was like $2,000 or something like that. It was manageable. People could work a job and actually make it through. And now, it's not like that anymore. It's, you got these loans following you forever. Everywhere you go, there are people in their 60s who haven't paid off their student loans yet. There's something fundamentally wrong with that. And it's fundamentally un-American, gosh damn it. Bring back that GI Bill. I'll be right back.
Greg Kelly on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Greg Kelly, entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
They're bringing back the presidential fitness test, which for some reason Obama got rid of. I remember this was a thing when I was growing up. This was a big deal, and we were aware of it in gym class at least. Mr. Muller in student school, Mr. DeFelice at the Garden City Junior High School. Who the hell else? I don't remember my gym teacher from high school. I remember junior high school. I remember gym. I remember, the locker room and the showers and stuff like that. No funny business. It was all, I had a great time at gym. And dodgeball was serious business. But what is this going to be? Push-ups, sit-ups, the presidential. You know who actually brought this about for the first time? It's a John F. Kennedy thing. It is something that he brought about because you know what was happening in the 1950s? More kids were staying home after school to watch cartoons. That's when cartoons in the afternoon became a thing. Do you remember that? And it was a thing for like the next 40 years. All of the big channels, they didn't have soap operas or reality TV. They had cartoons for kids in the afternoon. The soap operas stopped when? At about 3 or 4 o'clock, and then cartoons. Tom and Jerry, and the rest. And these were classic cartoons. And when you think about it, they had absolutely no value whatsoever. I mean, they were amusing. I remember I watched cartoons with a guy named Doug Klein. He lived down the block from me, and he just would laugh hysterically at the antics of the cat and the mouse. And I would look at it, you know what? That is pretty funny, actually. These are, if you really watch kids back then who watch a child watch a cartoon, they've got the demeanor like they're watching the State of the Union address, right? They just take it dead seriously for some reason. We got to get people out there moving. So that's what Kennedy noticed. Too many cartoons. All right. So we got this proclamation from President Trump. And what is it all about? Restoring the Presidential Fitness Test Award. He introduced professional athletes presenting at the signing and highlighted athletic events coming up, including those occurring to honor America's 250th anniversary. He also engaged the child athletes present, asking them what sports they played and that kind of thing. Now, what is the Presidential Fitness Test? Are we fit enough? Can we do it? What is the Presidential Fitness Test? Let's see what you got to do here. Created in 1966, the Presidential Fitness Test required children to run and perform sit-ups, pull-ups, or push-ups, as well as a sit and rest test. It was changed in 2012 during President Barack Obama's administration to focus more on individual health rather than athletic feats. You know why? You know why they watered it down? Because Michelle Obama and nutrition. And it got in the way of her silly Let's Move campaign, right? Remember the Let's Move thing? Just move. And you know why? It was so kind of, she was paying attention to the sugar industry. See, the sugar industry didn't want to mess too much with children. They didn't want children too healthy, right? She's actually a partner in a soda company. It's got like 30% less calories than regular soda. Well, that's still a lot of calories. And it was all a scam. Let's move. That Let's Move thing. All right. I'd like to hear him talk about this, if you don't mind, my friends. Justin, this is the president just out of the Oval Office. Now, he's also talking about the Iran war. They want to make a deal. Iran wants to make a deal. I want to make a deal. I want this thing to be over. And I think it will be. I'm giving it another 3 weeks, folks. 3 weeks. That means, let's see, what is today? 26. On the 26th, this war will be over. How much you want to bet I'm right on that one, huh, Justin? How much you want to bet? I think I would bet $1,000 right now. Right now, if anybody wants to take the bet. 800-848-9222. 800-848-9222. First, President Trump on the presidential fitness stuff. Go ahead. Yes, sir.
So today I signed a proclamation recognizing National Youth Sports and Fitness, and I'll also sign the very first copy of the new revitalized Presidential Fitness Test Award, a certificate in recognition of achievement of the gold standard of physical fitness. And this is something that Bryson DeChambeau wanted to do very badly.
And who's that again? Who was at the thing? They had all kinds of, they had a lot of kids, a lot of cute kids there. And that's, these things are always kind of photo ops. All right. I got it right here. It's National Physical Fitness and Sports Month 2026. We're going to find out what there, let me hear the longer version. All right. Now he threw in a few more details here. And, what is the actual test? How far do I have to run? What do I have to lift? By the way, I'm still losing weight. And thank God for these GLPs or whatever they're called. I'm taking Zepbound. I am now 3.5 weeks in, and I've lost well over 10 pounds, about 12 to 14 pounds. It fluctuated a little bit. But at this rate, I should be 180 pounds in a couple of months. And I am going to be unstoppable at that point. Go ahead, please.
But he's a great person and a great friend of mine, Bryson DeChambeau. And thank you, Bryson. And you're very much in charge of this whole operation of sports. He's so much into physical fitness. All you have to do is take a look at him. And you say, why is he even doing this? Because this, I think if you didn't work out at all, you'd still look almost like you do right now. But you are doing great. And everybody respects Bryson. He's the longest hitter in golf. And he's straight. And frankly, maybe the best part of his game, Gary, is he's a great putter.
Absolutely.
You played with him, right?
And an asset to the game.
And he's a great asset, and he's a great person. And we have, along with the University of Florida's basketball coach, Todd Golden. Todd? Where's Todd?
Right here.
Todd? Hi, Todd.
Great to see you, brother.
And what a job. By the way, what a job you've done. I see that. I'm a little busy to watch the games, but I always see your team is right up there.
Yeah.
You're doing a fantastic job as a young guy. An American hockey hero, T.J. Oshie, who's one of the best hockey players in the world. T.J., it's good to be.
Thanks for having me.
How's your golf game? The hockey players, Bryson was saying, the hockey players seem to be the best of the athletes, seem to be the best golfers. You know?
It's the greatest game.
Yeah, it's great.
Fun to play.
And he's a good golfer. He's a 3 handicap, maybe better, right? That's very good.
So work on the
but stick,
right here.
Right.
Yeah.
But stick to hockey.
Yeah.
Right. As a 3, he has to stick to hockey. Right. That's great. What a career you've had too at a young age, and professional baseball pitcher Noah Syndergaard, sometimes referred to as Thor, and he looks like Thor to me. That's where is he? It's very hard to make. They look great. That is a man, I wouldn't want to get into a fight with him, I can tell you. That would not be a good situation.
Well, I just love the give and take. I love the little asides and this and that. And who knew that, as far as athletes go, the ex-athletes, ex-professional players, the best golfers tend to be hockey players. I didn't know that. I think, here's the presidential fitness test. Okay. 1 mile run. That's the first thing. Run 1 mile as fast as possible. Okay. Then 2, pull-ups or flexed arm hang. Boys typically did pull-ups. Girls often did flex arm hang. Hold chin above the bar as long as possible. Okay. Then the sit and reach. Sit with legs straight and reach forward along a measuring box. This tested flexibility. I'm having a hard time. Okay, sit-ups. Do as many as possible in 60 seconds. There's all kinds of ways to do sit-ups, though. Shuttle run. Sprint back and forth, usually 30 feet, picking up small blocks. And then push-ups. Do as many as possible. Now, is there a score for all this? Well, yes, there was a score, but not a single number or a grade. It worked more like a ranking system based on how you perform compared to other kids your age and gender. And the scoring works. Each event has its own benchmark based on national data. You don't add up points. Instead, your results were compared to percentiles. If you performed in roughly the top 15%, you qualified for the Presidential Physical Fitness Award. And around the top 50% got the national award, and everyone else got a participant award. Okay. So how do you really stack up? If you're a 16-year-old boy, you got to get 10 to 12 pull-ups. a 1 mile run 6 minutes and 30 seconds or faster. I could not do that. I could do the pull-ups. I can't do them now. I could do them in about a month or so. Sit-ups, 50 to 60 in 1 minute. I could do that. Push-ups, 40 plus. I could definitely do that. Shuttle run, not sure. Sit and reach, don't know. Well, it's good that it's coming back. You got to make these kids, get them off their phones, get them active again. And AI, I tell you what, I'm not wrong about this. And some guy who I don't like normally, his name is Ezra Klein. He is saying this is not going to be the apocalyptic firing spree that everybody is worried about. It's going to be much more subtle. Certain professions, yes. Driving. If you are a professional driver right now in a cab or a truck, depending upon your age, you got to start making plans for how you're going to make money once this thing is online, once these vehicles are there. Now, maybe you own a fleet of cars. Maybe you do this. Maybe you do that. I don't know. Maybe how's it going to work? Have you ever been in a driverless car? I actually have a couple of times. It's an amazing thing. You'll be like, why the hell did we ever drive? Well, we couldn't do what we're doing now. It should have happened a long time ago. We still have the damn steering wheel. Hey, I did a big podcast today with Dan Abrams. It's going to be on later. You know Dan Abrams? He's like a media mogul, that guy. He's got a lot going on. And he wanted to talk to me about Hegseth. You've been very vocal, he said, about Hegseth online, and we had a very in-depth, he asked some interesting questions, and I like Dan a lot. It's not fake news. Even though he hangs around a lot of fake news people, he's an all right guy, and he's a serious guy. He's written a couple of books, 1 or 2 books on the Kennedy assassination. Dan Abrams, I'll find out where it is and post it for you.
Thanks for listening to The Greg Kelly Show. You can hear The Greg Kelly Show weekdays at 12:15 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Oh, it's out of here. Home run Ferry Hawks.
Get ready, Staten Island. It's time to celebrate 5 years of Ferry Hawks baseball. Come out to the ballpark this week as the Ferry Hawks welcome in the Charleston Dirty Birds May 5th through the 10th. Grab the kids and come on out. We kick it off on Tuesday, May 5th with Cinco de Baseball with $5 tickets and $5 food and beverage specials. And we end the week as we celebrate all moms on Mother's Day. Moms get in free. Visit ferryhawks.com now to lock in your seats.